Hello YouTube, this is Chance Paladin, and I haven't recorded any Diablo 3 in a long time, and there's a couple reasons for that. Anyway, blah blah blah, I'll go over that some other time. Hopefully the volume is good. That's always a challenge. We'll try that just to make doubly sure. So, I have the Reaper of Souls, or whatever the expansion was called. It's only $20, and this huge patch 2.4 came out. And that's really what I'd been waiting for. I knew Reaper of Souls was going to be okay. But, that wasn't really... Oh, you little bitch. I wasn't really sold on it. In terms of... like, Diablo needed... or Blizzard, rather, needed to make some... much more significant updates before I would give them any more money on their Diablo franchise. So 2.4 was really what that was for me after reading it. So Bong. So, I'm wrapping up things for the day. That's why I'm taking a couple second break here and there, trying to make sure that everything's winding down. Not not so inconvenient or whatever, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly where I was playing the last time that I recorded, but not on purpose. The reason why I'm here is because I've completed Reaper of Souls, or whatever it's called. That's just what I'm gonna call it. And there's this neat new mode called, I think it's called just Adventure Mode. And there's really no story in it. You kind of just fart around. And the reason why I like that is because it gives you little reasons to walk around and go adventuring while still giving you a little bit of bonus items without having to sit and farm a boss over and over again. So you don't have to farm bosses anymore, which I'm sure some people like that, but whatever. If everybody jumped off a cliff because they thought it was going to give them good loot, I'm sure they'd do it, but I wouldn't. Oh my goodness. So, still playing my Witch Doctor. It's still the only character I have. It still says I have a monk, or I played a monk at some point, but it was only to a couple levels. I absolutely couldn't stand it. It was boring as sin. And refused to make any of the other characters. And really want a necromancer, and no, don't tell me that this character is like a necromancer, because there's nothing in common besides a couple of loose anecdotal buffs that you can spec into. So you might wonder what I'm doing then, what I'm walking around and adventuring and doing. Well, you get the little quests now, like I was talking to you about, and I'm working on Act 3, because unfortunately every time it logs you out, you seem to lose it, and I got DC'd because I was in between waiting for work phone calls. And then finally just got so busy that I couldn't stay connected anymore, and that completely reset all my quest progress on what I was working on. So I was working on, I believe, West March, and I had already done about half of that, and it just reset. So no biggie. Kind of a minor annoyance, but I guess this would be a lot easier if people were able to log in and log out all the time to get it all done. So this kind of makes it a little bit more of a longer effort, but I really like this mode. I think this came out with Reaper, not with 2.4. So if I had known this, maybe I would have gotten it sooner. But as usual, Blizzard does an absolutely horrible job marketing. So I had no idea what this was. I had to go look it up, and it was on like a wiki somewhere that only partially explained it. And then even then it took me a while to figure it out. The in-game tutorial was extremely nebulous. It's not really the word I'm looking for. It's ambiguous, I think. Same thing with the new zone. There's a brand new zone with 2.4 called Grey Hollow Island. It took me forever to find it. Freaking stupid. Wasn't on their website. Didn't explain it in the game where it was or how to get to it. Eventually, actually no, it wasn't even on some wiki. I never did find it, and I was looking at the map, thinking I thought maybe it would be another chapter, and then I think I read somewhere that you can see it at the end of Act 5 or something, so I looked at that and eventually figured it out. Okay, so I'm done with that one, you can see, because the quest is gone, so usually I go back to town and sell. And get back to it, and I've found that each one of these keeps me occupied for about an hour, which is pretty neat, and I've also been able to get some pretty decent gear from it. As you can see, I'm in almost all oranges now, and I'd even got a green at one point. But I've been having a lot of computer problems. Some of it, I think, was malware related, and I fixed that, and some of it's because I can't find my Windows 7 Pro code. It pisses me off. I still can't find it. I've been looking for it for months and I have no idea where it is. Okay, let's see where the next spot is to do. Let's just go do this one. And what the heck was that? Oh, yep, there is a treasure goblin. I thought that's what I heard. That's one of the reasons why it's good to have your sound turned up. I mean, yeah, you can look on the map, but like that guy didn't show up on the map right away, but I could hear him. So, anyway, man, so my memory's been really short lately. Sorry about that. After that last really bad migraine I got, like, my memory has never been shorter. It's like, oof, it's bad. Anyway, so I was having the malware issue and the Windows registration issue, which which I still have, and I refuse to buy another copy because it's so expensive. And I'm not going to upgrade to Windows 10 because it has had no end of problems. I don't care what people say. Sure, somebody out there somewhere is probably fine, but there's a known issue where it just doesn't recognize completely common, average, very popular mid-range video cards. Just for no reason. And there's nothing you can do to fix it. It just bricks your machine until you revert. If you're lucky enough to even be able to revert. Sometimes it won't do that either. Or if it does revert, it sits at a blank screen for about 2 hours before finally completing its reversion. I mean, it's really bad. So, plus I probably couldn't upgrade anyway because it said you don't have an unregistered version. Da 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 da. It says I'm pirating the software and stuff. It's like, no, I legitimately downloaded it from the legitimate Windows, Microsoft Windows site. I just don't have the damn code. And it doesn't, for whatever reason, this is what really blows my mind. I swear I registered it and everything, but, I mean, it's not connected to my Microsoft account as far as I could tell, so. So I've been having lots of computer problems, and I can't record worth a damn when that stuff's happening. So on top of all that, this game has a known issue that was never fixed in 2 different areas of the game that completely lock you up. And try as I might, and it's not Blizzard's fault, although I highly suspect that they probably could fix it if they wanted. The Swamp Marsh, and I think one other spot, I can't remember. Ironically, the other spot never locked me up, but the Swamp Marsh spot did. And to some people, it's vice versa. Kill enemies. Okay. And about 3 and 4 runs through the Blood Marsh, I would freeze, and then you have to do this little Alt-Tab trick and try to move yourself in a black screen and hope that you move yourself in a spot that unlocks you. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I couldn't record because of that either. I think I have it fixed, but I'm not going to tempt fate because it absolutely ruins the game for me. When that happens, I just want to turn the game off because it just upsets me too much to have something dumb like that. But there's been several posts alluding to AMD recognizing the issue and putting it in their quality of life, bumping it up to the top of their priority list and fixing it, even though they didn't need to, even though those cards have fallen out of support. I mean, they're still extremely common cards because they're pretty freaking good. They're just not super gaming quality, but they are surprisingly good, robust freaking cards. And even when my 7870 went toast and AMD didn't have it registered and Fry's said screw you up your screw hole, I was able to pop my 5770 in, and it's worked since like the first day it came out of the box, that's why I love AMD so much. The 7870 failing, in my eyes, was a Fry's failure, since it was refurbed, not an AMD failure. And I'm not mad at AMD, it's just the cards are stinking expensive, so I can't get a new one. nobody's really given me any pointers on my Patreon, so and people are making their Patreons work somehow, but I have no idea. I need someone to explain to me kind of the methodology. And I've been putting a lot of work into getting a job again, but that's can go over that some other time. And this game has just kind of been my new little go-to relaxing game to play, besides all of the aforementioned defects. I mean, being a software QA guy, I just kind of work through them, get as many of them fixed as I can. Nobody was really watching my Marvel Hero stuff to begin with, but I did record Marvel Heroes sometime. The reason why that's not up is that, for reasons unknown at this point, and I've been asking Gaz to explain, that's the developer, why there aren't any mutants, quote unquote, in the lineup for Marvel 2016. Marvel Heroes 2016. And that is extremely suspicious because Beast and Jubilee are both highly, highly requested, and we are instead extremely, again, suspiciously only getting characters from that were either already in the game and they're just slightly repurposing them from like team-ups to playable, for example, or they're all from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Netflix is what I call them. This way. So, I wasn't recording Marvel. I was still playing that god, but just not recording it. I was looking forward to playing a ton of Jubilee and recording it. But nope. No Jubilee, no Beast, no Bishop. None of those characters that people love. It's all freaking S.H.I.E.L.D. Netflix properties. So that tells me that either Fox is being a bastard, or they want too much money, or Gaz is tired of dealing with it for whatever reason. Or maybe the engine's finally wearing out. I don't know. So, I can only speculate, and I know people don't like speculating, but that's really all I can do. Oh, inventory's getting full. Better go back to base. But since this has kind of been my therapy of late, although I have been playing a little bit of TOR, I thought maybe I would record some of this and see if anybody watches it. And of course, like always, if you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it, then I won't put any more up. It's that simple. Of course, I would get really confused because even though my subs keep going up, my videos still pretty much have the same viewership, which is extremely confusing. And that could be because a lot of the subbers I get are not watching my gaming videos at all. They're watching my other videos, which doesn't bother me at all. I know so many YouTubers that have absolutely lost their shit because people only like certain videos of theirs. Blah, 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 blah. still isn't an upgrade, dang. Some of these weapons are really, really holding on. Seems like there's always something like that. Okay, that's Enchantress. But, I mean, I'm a simple guy. If you watch my videos and say you like certain ones, or you don't have to say you like certain ones, if just a lot of people like certain ones, or I can just tell from the viewers, then those are the ones I do more of. It's really that simple. So if a bunch of people watch this, then I do more of it. If nobody watches it, then I do less.
Doesn't our friend ever tire? I've hardly seen him rest since we met.
Now you know why angels and demons fear the Nephilim, Laura.
They're talking about me working my butt off. Let's see here. To the battlefield. Also, these little quests are fun. That's if they weren't fun, I wouldn't be doing them. Of course, you know, you don't always know where you're going. Maybe that's why it's fun. I don't know. I've always liked the adventuring aspect of Diablo, and it really bummed me out when the levels just seemed so absolutely static. And they're not like that anymore. There's quite a few different level designs, and these take you to a lot of places that are otherwise kind of a pain in the butt to find, or no real reason to go there and adventure, so. And I find stuff like that.
Needs more time. We couldn't hold on. There were just too many of them.
Okay. I must be getting close. I am getting close. And likewise, if people say they want to see something, but then there's no views, then I don't record it anymore. A lot of that stuff I still play. I just don't record it anymore. But I guess the only exception to that is StarCraft co-op missions. I have no idea why people watch those, and they never comment, and they're not particularly, I don't want to say they're not fun, it's just that there's like some real monotony there. Is this the medical camp?
Please, you think we're all just waiting around for you to save us, hero?
Oh, you don't need my help? Okay, goodbye. Oh, he's dead. Ah, this is it. Okay, cool. The nurse said, "Please help me, these men are helpless." Yes, they... Oh, she means the injured men. Okay. Gotcha. Build some missile turrets. Oh, jeez, this is freaking... I hate these things. They're like spine crawlers. And they do so much damage. But yeah, I don't know, whoa. I don't know why people watch co-op missions. Me and my brother tried one on hard mode, and we had just cakewalking through hard mode co-op missions. And then it was that one where the mobs come at you from all four sides. And still says I have one to do here. Oh, it's because I must have marched over here. Okay. The cow level is a lie. Okay. Ah, I was pretty close. Okay, this way. This is the next one. That's why. Yeah, see, I just lost it again. I think where I was, excuse me, I think where I was going with that was co-op. Yeah, it was that four-way one, and I think it was the combination of it being a four-way and being against Terran. We got annihilated. There was, it was only like into the second wave, maybe like 10 minutes into the match or something, and we got destroyed. And I was like, well, wait a second. Like, what just happened? And, so I don't know. They are extremely inconsistent. I guess that's maybe what I'm trying to say. Those co-op missions. Some of them are extremely fun. Like, for example, I find the train one really fun. But some of them, like that four-way, where the air units come from the north one, and then ground comes from the other three. It's so tedious because no matter how good you do, there'll be drop pods. Oh, you little bastard. And the Zerg drop pods are like a joke, basically. And I don't recall a Protoss being a problem. And then Terran just annihilates you. You can't. I don't know what it is, but it's horrible. So, yeah. So it's things like that just really turned me off to co-op. I think it would be better if there was an optional third player. Oh shit, there's another treasure goblin. Where is he? There he is. Got him. Oh, there's Norge. Yeah, they have really fixed the loot in this game, which is nice. Took them a long time, but they fixed it. Kill all the enemies. Okay. Level 2. Alright, just gotta kill the enemies. I don't know. There's something about it. The co-op missions, there's just a little off to me. And I think part of it is that it's got its own section, like in the menu. And it's really just a glorified arcade game. And there's so many better arcade games. Sorry, Blizzard. I mean, that one's fun and all, don't get me wrong. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to legitimize some of the more interesting game modes, which is what they didn't do back when DOTA hit it off really well. And a lot of the other arena-style MOBA sub-genres, which are all hopping on the arcade and are just begging to have a full release. And I think they're trying to capture some of that and retain it, which is fine. Oh. It's fine, but the problem is that there's so many other ones that I think deserve it.
You have done well. Perhaps this will prove you have finished all the bounties here.
Okay, so I finished the bounties. But then, well, let's take care of my inventory first. Starbow is immediately one that comes to mind. Ooh, dang. That's... still not really... I guess I might finally swap that out. That chest. Yeah, Starbow comes to mind. Another one. Keep wanting to call it Time Warp. But, Warp... Time... I don't know. Dang it, freaking... Memory. But the one where it's all the StarCraft 1 and Brood War missions and all the side missions and everything. That could easily be set up in the arcade. It just needs space. So, why they can't support some of these. Zone control is another one. Zone control is incredibly fun, incredibly strategic. You have to cooperate, and the battles are massive. That's been a mainstay in every single custom and arcade that Blizzard has ever had. Same with like a Starship Troopers / Battle for Helm's Deep sort of a style game. And then the new one, Reach and Breach, which is kind of a hybrid. Cool, I got a Herodric cache. So, holy oranges. So, I still don't understand how those Herodric caches work. But that's what happens when you get a Herodric cache. You get crap tons of oranges and books and things. Which is nice. Very, very nice. Again, like I said, the gear situation here is a lot better than it used to be. Okay. Let's go turn all these recipes in. That's gonna go to the jewelry person. Okay, let's go to the jewelry person. This way. I don't know, I still feel like there's a disconnect with Blizzard in regards to what people really want and what kind of a service they can actually provide. And a part of that is, I think, why we got that stupid Overwatch game that nobody asked for. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be super popular, blah blah blah, because Blizzard can sell their poop and everybody would buy it and defend it and lose their shit if you ever said anything about it. But it just blows my mind that Blizzard can't see the forest from the trees on what kind of value they can provide people. Yes, thank you, Tyrell, I know that. Looking for Deckard Cain's book. And simple stuff that we've been asking for, like getting all of the Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 maps built into Diablo 3. I don't know. Oh, holy cow. Damn. Okay. It's pretty friggin' kick-ass. I can put that bow on my archer dude later. I don't need to worry about that bow anymore. I don't know. I don't know what Blizzard's doing. I mean, some company just sold their remaining stock. Not sure if it was like stock they had in Vivendi or how it worked, but I mean, Blizzard's stock is still worth like a bajillion dollars. I mean, they literally shit gold. So I don't understand for the life of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't understand for the life of me why they don't just make the things that people actually want instead of the things that nobody's asked for. I know they have to be ahead of the curve a little bit. And that's how you stay relevant. But it becomes incredibly frustrating when they keep making things that you don't want. And that might make me sound like a hypocrite because, like, oh, well, people always make... Yes. Yep, we will find him for you. I find that there is a difference between there being like a small division in the community over where dwindling resources should be allocated. I totally get that. That's been a problem for a long time. And that divides communities up something fierce. I mean, there's one going on right now with Jubilee, you know. People are saying, hey, can we get Jubilee, please? And people are saying, why? She's just like Dazzler. Why? She's just like Boom Boom. And it's like, whoa, you are dividing the community there, buddy. That's what you're doing. So, I don't know. Next one. Oh wait, no, I'm still trying to find...
There is no way.
Okay, so I'm still... Let's try this way. Yeah. But Blizzard doesn't have dwindling resources. They don't... And that's what is extremely frustrating. Now, granted, they have repurposed their resources a couple times in the past, which is usually very upsetting, and I understand and respect people for getting upset at that, because their thing that they wanted was being worked on, and then it promptly wasn't. But, I think people getting upset about that that's perfectly legitimate. I think that's good. Yes, you can. You're moving just fine. What in the heck? Why is it... Okay, this one is being a pain in the butt a little bit. I don't know where the siege breaker is. I think I have to go into the base, or into the bridge. Like, Blizzard doesn't have an excuse for dwindling resources. They should be able to just theoretically build pretty much whatever they want. I don't understand why it takes them years to staff up. And they staff up for things and never tell anybody what it's for. And then maybe that sounds a little bit like entitlement to me, but nowadays I haven't done what you would call like traditionally buying a game, quote unquote, for so long that I can't even remember what it was anymore. I think the point that I'm trying to get at with that statement is I like to try to budget out what games I'm gonna buy. I always have. Well, I mean, hopefully you watched my videos and see like what games I want to play. I mean, I plan years in advance what games I want to play. That's how narrowed down I have it. I keep lists, and I've been keeping lists ever since I moved out on my own and actually could spend money myself responsibly. You know, didn't have parents breathing down my neck wanting me to spend the only things that they wanted. All of a sudden it was okay to waste money when it was for things they thought, but blah blah blah. You've heard all that before a million times, I'm sure. I've made lists because that's my way of being responsible. And I'll have everything planned out, and you'll know someone's working on something. And how would you like it if they don't tell you what it is? They don't tell you if it's similar to other things that you've liked, or if it's different. They have alphas and betas and crap that they don't let you into. They don't have time with the developers to explain their direction. None of it. They don't have any of it. And then all of a sudden the damn game comes out and you haven't budgeted for it. You don't want to play it. You don't even want to hear about it. And all of a sudden all your friends are playing it. Because whatever, I don't know, some weird self-perpetuating cycle of that was bad lag. I don't know if that cut the video or not. I'll find out later. This weird... dang. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna keep working. Because I wanted to finish these quests. And I only have 2 left. So I hope that hasn't chopped up my video, because that would suck. Okay. Let's head to the next one. Gotta kill Az and Cydia. The Cydia one takes a while because you run around in circles over and over again. It's also the scariest one. I mean, the Diablo stuff has always been dark, and I had a lot of reservations about this game in general in terms of atmosphere, because this game seriously lacks atmosphere. But whoever designed this part is a sick fuck, because it's the only part of the game where I've actually looked at it and it has a bad look about it. It has a very bad look about it. And there's even a whole backstory and things. It's pretty graphic. So yeah, some Dante's Inferno shit. This way, I think. No, other way. Yeah. Oh, so just before I forget my last thought, I like to budget out my games, and other people like to buy their games on a whim, and I'm like just hypercritical when it comes to spending money on games, because I mean, if you're not careful, you waste your money on all sorts of other things non-game related. There's nothing worse than wasting your money on a game that either is unplayable or sucks. Then you gotta try to get a refund if the game's unplayable, and thankfully that's gotten a little bit better, but not much. So, wow, oops. So I guess that's kind of all I have to say about that. I'm not in any kind of a huge rush to buy anything that's not on my plan. So in these games, developers don't tell you anything. That's pretty much guarantee I'm not going to buy it. Kind of multitasking again. This run ended up taking me a little longer than I thought, because I get lost. As you all know, I'm starting to get a little heartburn because I guess I forgot to take a Prilosec again or something, which really sucks. Or all the stress and anxiety. Who knows? Or both, probably. So yeah, I guess game companies, forget about my money if you're not going to. I call it marketing, but it's not. It's just talking to people. That's not expensive. You don't have to put out an expensive advertisement. You just have to talk to people. YouTube doesn't cost anything to. You know, I know demos are a bitch. Making special alphas and betas and stuff, I know that's a pain in the ass. I know it can backfire, and enforcing NDAs is a pain in the ass. But look how Battlefront turned out. I mean, at least in my eyes, I see these guys are horrible assholes. They're like in constant torture and horrific pain, which powers this whole place. And it just gets worse and worse. My friend is being funny. I went the wrong. No, I went the right way. I think? Yeah, I went the right way. Here we go. It's down there. And I think, when people look at, so-called failed Kickstarters I think what they would see is a lot of those Kickstarters didn't fail. They actually reached a very large audience. And they created even more of an audience. And they were able to talk to everybody, and they learned from that. Seeing some of them die, then stuff bursts out of them, and ugh, just awful. Anyway, so they weren't failures. They just weren't commercial successes. Just two different things. Hello, you poor bastards. And there's like another one here. It's just blah. So that's all I gotta say about that, I guess. Blizzard is not doing themselves any favors by acting like exclusive jackholes. I think it would be in their best interests, both as a game company and just as good social citizens and being a good social corporation, to outreach more to the community, to involve the community in what they're doing, what they're developing, where their direction is. And at the risk of sounding really dumb, they're acting way too much like a corporation that just happens to make video games. And I see the same thing with, well, obviously EA, Activision, BioWare. Not so, I mean, BioWare tries, but, oh.
There was no clear goal for them to pursue, and some clerics claimed it was a fool's errand, that they could never succeed. But these crusaders would not be.
Yeah. Yeah, for whatever reason, the journal entries don't have subtitles, and so you have to open the journal. So that's what I do. Because the journal entries are really interesting, and that's how they tell, in all the newer Diablo content.
Crusaders swore an oath to dedicate their lives to the search. None believed that they would be the one to end the crusade by finding and cleansing the corruption. They believed the search ennobled them, that the discipline of their life and journey was the true goal. The crusader was meant to find meaning in the quest itself.
Exactly. That's how the stories are told now, is through the little journals, which I love, personally. One thing a lot of this Diablo game got right is the sheer scale and the point of view. Anyway, so that was really all I had to say about game design, game developing. I think what I'll do, the last topic that I wanted to talk about was on religion, because Diablo always makes me think of religion, and I always yep, hold on. I always kind of double check a lot of their religion stuff. And they actually kept up on it pretty well all the way through Reaper Souls, so I'm going to talk about that in a future video. So, I completed all of the missions. I can't remember if I specifically have to talk to somebody or not. That guy's kind of always a douche. I don't... So maybe you only have to do the bounties? And maybe the exclamation... or no. Maybe that's just telling you where bosses are? But I think it's fun to do them all. But yeah, I think from now on I'll probably just do bounties, so then that's how you get your Roderick caches, so it just gives you all the cool stuff. So anyway, hopefully those 2 lag spikes I got didn't cut my video, and like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Tell me if you like these little quest journeys or whatever, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you like it, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and let me know, so I'll know, and then I'll do more. So anyway, thanks for watching, and this is Water Paladin, the witch doctor trying to pretend to be a necromancer, telling you all goodbye.